Everybody. Happy hump day. It is so weird here in Michigan. If anyone is in Michigan, you understand, and maybe it's been like this other places, but it was 70 something yesterday. Then we had tornado warnings at my house last night with hail, and it's snowing and super windy today. So I've been stuck at home. My car is in the shop, and the cool thing is Uber Eats, which I'm way too I love food and I love going out. So I'm too cheap to pay someone to bring the food. I'd rather be at the restaurant, but they sent me a $25 off any purchase and free shipping or free delivery. So I had Uber Eats delivered when I didn't have a car today. And I just ate my OMAD at lunch because I got food that my family wouldn't like, Egyptian food. So it was really delicious. And I just ate my OMAD, and it was delicious. So I hope you guys have a good eating window today as well. But before we get started, I cannot believe how quickly the quarter is upon us. So this Saturday is going to be my 72-hour vlog from the last 72-hour community fast we did. And then then Sunday, I start the next one. So it's going to look a little backwards because it has like my Christmas tree in the background of it, the video. But I wanted it to go live like right before we do the next community fast. So that if you're looking for like a little inspiration or feel like you're doing it with someone, you could watch the video as we start it. And I literally I did my whole meal plan for next week, forgetting that I'm not eating Monday, Tuesday at all and early on Sunday. So I have to adjust that, but I am excited for the next community fast. If you've never done one or you've never paid attention or you're new, first of all, you don't have to do it. It's only for people that want to do 3-day fast. But it was just something I like to do them on occasion. And then it was suggested that we just do them regularly after we did the first one. And I thought that was a really good idea. So every 3 months, I do March, what is that? March, June, September, December, I think are the 4 months, like early in the month, Sunday to Wednesday, or you can adjust it to what works for your schedule, a 72-hour fast. And then this is the first time, and I don't know if it's going to turn out to be anything, which is fine. People have asked if there is like a way we could have a group where people can post and reply to each other. And I've been very hesitant because kind of keeping track of that and keeping trolls out is a concern of mine. You guys have seen people come on here and do ridiculous stuff. They say racist things or mean things or sexual stuff. And I just don't have time to moderate a group. And so anyways, if you sign up to be a member, I did create a Facebook group. It's just $1 to be a member a month. That's the lowest I can make it. And I make nothing from that. YouTube takes some of it. But that way, if you're a member, I can post the link to the Facebook group privately and you can get there. It's really more than anything, it's meant to be a spot where people can talk to each other, because on YouTube, you can't post how you're breaking your fast. You can't post things yourself. You can just respond in comments. But if we had a group, a Facebook group, then you can, you could post, hey guys, I'm having this issue. How do you fix it? And then people can, get the community going about our fast, and then it can just grow in between the fast that way. So I feel honestly kind of horrible doing $1 to get in there, but it's simply to keep it from, when you put a little bit of a paywall there, it's less likely that a troll is going to go through the effort to sign up, to find the secret link, to get in. It just puts some barriers there for jerks, and jerks definitely usually don't want to take time to be a jerk. So that's what's going on. I will post about hey, I'm starting, I'm doing this. Dawn, I saw you ask this. I'll still say, hey, good luck if you're doing this. I'll still put those community posts out, but it just removes the ability. The Facebook group gives the ability for people to post themselves and to comment on each other's, or, hey, I did it, I'm so proud of myself. And you can take a selfie or put your little fasting app screenshot or whatever. It gives more user ability to collaborate with each other. So Sunday, bottom line, I'm starting the fast. If you want to be a part of the Facebook group, so far it's me and my mom. Woohoo! Which, that's enough for me, but I just thought I'd share that. And now I am many comments behind, which is fine. Also, the cool thing is, since I don't have my kids are riding the bus home because I don't have a van, I can't go pick them up. So I have a little longer than normal if I need it. So yay. We're going to get started. Hi, George. I am jealous of beautiful Tucson, Arizona. I look forward to visiting sometime, but you always got me with that sunshine, don't you? And Dawn, thank you. I'm so happy with the headshots, and it's so kind of you to say you like them too. And that's really exciting. 386. I'm behind on Jen's podcast. I will have to listen to that. So thank you for sharing that. I'm excited. Negative self-talk. I always think like if my name's brought up, people are going to be like, boo, because I'm definitely less technical than others. But that's nice to know that it sounds like it was nice. Hi, Megan. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Hey, Mom. Oh, I love seeing you guys say hi to my mom. Hi, Patrick. Hi, Bobini Creates. So many hellos. Let's see. Hi from Pennsylvania. The same weather is coming our way. Well, good luck. And you know what's really crazy? Someone used, this is like totally not to do with fasting, but I signed up for Uber Eats to get the promo code. Again, I don't have an Uber account. We're just not that bougie. As soon as I signed up for an Uber account, someone in Pennsylvania used it to get from somewhere to the airport. So I'm dealing with that. And it just popped in my head when I saw Pennsylvania. Was it you, Linda? Did you take my Uber account and get to the airport? Hi, Casey. Hi, Kim. Nice to hear from you. I can't see you. Whoop. Patty's ready for the 72-hour fast. I wish I could say I was, and I'm happy that you are. It just honestly snuck up on me. When I realized that, I was like, oh, dang, that's this weekend. I need it. The unfortunate thing for me, and this is probably TMI, I got really sick on Saturday on our way home from our vacation at the Dells. And without being too graphic, everything that I ate in my OMAD on Saturday was quickly out of me. I threw it all up in the car as we're driving multiple times. You can imagine how happy my kids were. And the funny thing is, it was right as my husband was getting into like busy Chicago traffic. So the timing of it was just horrible. And it was just kind of funny looking back. It wasn't funny at the moment. And then I didn't eat barely anything Sunday. So it was like a giant fast almost. But I was also I wasn't testing myself because I simply didn't want to eat because I was ill. But I'm feeling much better. So I'm going to do an intentional fast this time. But it felt like I just did a 72-hour fast almost while puking though. Love seeing you guys again. Say hi to my mom. Hey, Vanessa. Hope you're doing well. Also, we're going to give a little cameo to my little best friend over here. She's snoring really loud. So if you hear her, it's her. It's not my stomach. And in case you're wondering, I still haven't figured out my computer. I haven't even tried, to be honest. But my husband's going to help me learn something. So I'll have my actual setup, in the office that we built right there instead of my laptop in the sunlight. But let's see. Missouri gal here. Casey. Oh, Casey. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to pick your brain, and I would love your input. I'll get to it eventually. But she had 74 yesterday. 14 is a low with light snow. Same as here, I guess. We are going. I asked St. Louis Ammo Man this, but we are going on spring break. We're going to stop in St. Louis. Then we're going to go down to Branson, Missouri. I think we know what we're doing in those places. It's just literally like stay a night here, stay a night here, stay a night here, getting down to Arkansas, and then working our way back up a road trip. But if you have any food suggestions where I should eat in either St. Louis or Branson or somewhere in between, we are going to stop at the Bucky's in between. I know nothing about Missouri, so Maybe it's your area, but while I have you, I was literally planning our trip earlier today. So yay. But hello, and thank you for sharing your weather. Sorry you have the same craziness. When am I starting the fast? I personally am going to start, I'm thinking like 3 p.m. on Sunday. It depends on when I close my eating window Saturday. Probably Sunday. I'm going to have an OMAD. And I don't know exactly when. My 72 hours, I want it to be up after I pick up my kids from school on Wednesday because that just works well. And then I still want 6 hours to eat. So if I do like 3 p.m., I'll have my kids next Wednesday after school. And then, excuse me, I still have 6 hours at least that I'll be awake for. So I'll probably have like a hearty snack, have dinner, and snack after dinner without dessert because I've learned that the hard way. Excuse me. So that's my plan is like 3:00 on what day? Sunday. I will start fasting until 3:00 Wednesday. It might end up being like 2:42 or 3:13, but 3-ish is my goal. And the way it generally works is we're not all sitting here at the same time, like syncing Western time zone to Eastern time zone and like it's just basically we start Sunday, you do what works for you, and then you end Wednesday, what works for you. And even some people are like, hey, I'm going to start it Saturday night because I have something going on Wednesday. It's just kind of the general idea that we're in this together. And if you're like, hey, I know other people are getting through this hump, I'm going to do it too. It's just fun, even if it's not exact. But that's my goal is 3-ish p.m. to 3-ish p.m. Hello, everyone. Will not sleeping good the day before have you hungry on your fast the next day? Well, will not sleeping good the day before have you hungry on your fast the next day? I don't honestly really see a difference. I sleep pretty good most of the time. Last night I didn't sleep well because of the tornado warning. But I don't honestly, I think because I'm so fast adjusted, I don't really see a difference. I don't know if other people have experience. I can kind of see like, you're feeling tired and sluggish. You don't have the motivation to maybe push through or to stay busy through your fast. I could see that making a difference. But personally, I don't really see much of a difference. Bobini and everyone else, my mama says hi back. Oh, I love seeing you guys say hi. Mason Williams, Willie Ames saying hi. Love it. Joni Sowers says hi. Sunflowers, Egyptian food sounds amazing. It was so good. And I'm going to show, it's all the way over there. I'm going to show you and I'm going to tell you what I'm excited about because you know what? You guys are excited about food with me. I'll be right back. Okay. So I had chicken and rice, which was really yummy, and that's all gone. And then I also got this cauliflower, and my vegetarian loves deep fried cauliflower or like fried cauliflower. Emmy, that's not for you. I knew this would happen. And I saved some of that for her. So I ate about half of it, and I'm excited for her to try it. I hope she'll try it, but it's really seasoned. And then my girls are going to be super excited about this because, so this is a garlic sauce. They might not actually eat that, but this is a really yummy hummus. They've had this before from this restaurant. It's called Caro's, but they have these pita chips that have za'atar on it. And the reason I'm excited about this is, so I purposely ordered this knowing that my girls, I got way too much food to get the $25 for the delivery. But my girls used to go to a daycare where the daycare owner was Lebanese. Well, she is Lebanese. And she, like from Lebanon, and she made the most delicious, extremely flavorful food. And she used to make toast in the morning with butter and za'atar on it. And sometimes she would have a piece waiting for me when I dropped off the girls, and I loved it. And za'atar is just a mix of seasonings. It has seeds in it, and my girls love it. And when they were 2, 3, they'd go, za'atar! They'd cheer for it. They were so excited. So when I saw that they had pita chips with za'atar on it, the first time I got this is only the second time I've had this restaurant. I had all of this left over. They loved it. So I just actually texted both of them a picture of this waiting for them. So I'm really excited to share it with them. And that's the kind of stuff that fasting just gives me, like, the freedom to be excited about food like that. And I know it probably sounds silly to some people, but like, I'm excited to get a snack that I love and then have all of it here for my girls to get home and that they're excited. And none of us are going to feel bad about it being like a fried pita chip and how much hummus was on the chips. I just like the freedom to enjoy the food the way I want to, because food really gives me joy. So thank you for letting me share that with you. I know that was probably not expected, but I'm very excited for my girls to get home and see this. Hi, Bonnie. I'm glad you were here. If you're still here, sorry, I hope you're still here while I said hi, but I'm glad you were able to get on too. Hello, everyone, says Sunflower. Nessa understands the paywall and she'll join when she gets back on. I know actually a couple people I think probably are on, if you're doing Lent at all. I don't know if that's you, but taking a break from social media. So I can totally understand that. Smiling says, did you decide to discontinue the podcast? Yes. So I don't know if you guys saw, but I did. Well, not discontinue. It's just really hard for me to commit to scheduling. And then with my office move, I tried recording a couple podcasts and the audio is horrible. And I need to figure out, I don't know what it is about my connection, but my new office area, I don't know if I have too weak of a connection. In moving my office, the quality of the audio at the end of the interview, literally, it's not like it's not as good. It was awful. And I didn't even have great audio to begin with. So scheduling and being committed, because I've had just a lot of needs for my kids, like appointments and scheduling, made it nearly impossible for me to be committed to days where I knew I could be here and it be quiet and record and to be respectful of the guest time frame. That is such a huge stress to me. Like, something pops up and I have this commitment and then I have to cancel. I literally don't want that. And then on top of it, with the audio issues, it was like stress on top of stress. And then I felt like I was going to combust. So I need to take a break, and I would love for it to continue because I absolutely love sitting down with people and recording them. It is something I've really enjoyed. I love talking about fasting, and it's really fun for it to be a two-way conversation for me. And I really like to get to know other people, to hear their experiences. And a lot of times they say things that I still remember sitting down and, can't think of her name off the top of my head. I can literally see her face, and I'm sorry. I know it should be like right here because I love the interview. But she's like, I felt like I never had a seat at my own table, like making dinner for her husband and girls. And I'm like, that's exactly how I felt. Like, I'd put time, effort, love, energy into my meals. And then I felt like I didn't deserve to eat what was at my own dinner table. And so just like having the community, I love it, but it is just too hard for me to maintain right now and maintain like the very little sanity that I have. So yes, it is on pause. And I look forward to getting back to it, but I don't know when it's going to be. Esteban, you guys, this is Esteban. I'm like 99% sure because it looks like you, but I've never talked to you on YouTube. He edits all the podcast episodes. Yes, and he does a great job. And if he couldn't fix the audio, no one could, because he's kind of a master. So hi, Esteban. I hope you're doing well. And I hope I have shows to give you again in the future. Let's see here. Looking forward to the 72-hour fast. Yay! I'll get there. I'll be excited too. Hey, 2 Tucson people. I love that. Alina says, hi, Jackie. I heard Element was created specifically for the fasting window. Element gets rid of my hunger, gives me energy. Does it do this for you during the fasting window? I've been playing. I know I've been saying this for a while, and this is going to be my first 72-hour fast where I'm going to drink flavors instead of the unflavored while I'm fasting. It makes me hungry. And I don't think it's Element. It's just flavored things. So when I have a Diet Coke, or if I have the lime sparkling water instead of my unflavored that I stick to, I just feel hungrier. And I think because I did, I started fasting, well, almost. From the almost very beginning, I did a very clean fast. I just read that's the way to do it, and I did it. So I did all unflavored everything. And then when I have flavors, I think my body just thinks I'm about to eat. I don't know that it actually breaks the fast. I've never seen anything negative on blood results, or I did do a test and I have a video on it with my continuous glucose monitor, but there wasn't anything that would be like, oh my gosh, that's huge impact. Don't do it. But it makes it harder for me to fast. And that's a very personal thing. However, I like to make my fast as easy as possible. And I just really think that clean fasting makes a big difference for me. I think other people find that when they test it, but it doesn't mean it's that way for everyone. So whether it like scientifically breaks a fast, not a scientist, I can't really tell you that. And I know a lot of people do take the flavors while they're fasting. And I have been doing that lately because it tastes a lot better. And I feel really good taking Element. However, I think it makes my fast harder, and I like things to be easy. So after the 72-hour fast is when I'm done and I'm going back to clean fasting. But I really want to get through a 72-hour fast and see it that way, because especially it's not like I'm going to be hungry for the last 2 hours of a fast, hungrier than normal, where I can just push through. I'm like, I want to see what I feel like 48, 52, 59. I really want to see what the difference is. And maybe I'll be regretting that. But I do know that they call themselves fasting approved. What they mean by that, I don't know. But a lot of people do the diet beverages, and it doesn't have sugar in it. So it's not like it's breaking the fast with that. It's just harder for me to I can still get through the fast because I'm a good faster. Like, I built that fasting muscle. I just can't do it as like thoughtlessly. I get hungrier. New York girl at heart. Hi, everyone. Just got home from walking dogs. Hope everyone is well. I'm at 22 hours fasted, eating at 4 p.m. today to stop at 6 p.m., getting back on track from December. I see the eye roll. Does that mean I can't believe it's taken me this long to get back on track from December? Well, it sounds like you're doing great, and I'm cheering for you, and you just went on a walk while fasting. Sounds like you are building all your great habits up, and I'm cheering for you. Sounds like a perfect fast to eating window ratio for me. That works really well for me. No dog. I swear I just heard something. Oh, it's my dog snoring. Hello. She scared me. I have what was I saying? Oh, no dog walk today, but we've been going to the dog park. I don't have a van, so that's how we don't do many walks. But yesterday we did walk a lot. So maybe I'm not getting out. That'd be a lie. But good for you. I'm cheering for you, and I know you'll be back on track. Brayden, I live in Kalamazoo, so Southwest Michigan. Are you a Michigander as well? Okay, Linda did not take my Uber. Okay, I'll let you off the hook then. Let's see. Jackie, I found Glucose Goddess through you. Have you seen her newest video? She has an anti-spike pill out. Oh, I have not seen that. I'll have to look for that. I'm curious what that is. I'll have to look for that. She, I will say, Jessie, I've never attempted to say her last name. I have seen her on every, she was on my Speedway gas pump when I was pumping gas at the gas station the other day. There was her face. And I was like, oh my gosh, she is everywhere. All these different podcast channels, podcast videos. I'm like, she is making the rounds, which is good for her. I think her information has actually been pretty transformative for me, and how I think of eating, and having dessert right afterwards is better than waiting and not breaking my fast with sugar. How I can still incorporate foods that I love, but do it better. I'm glad that people are hearing her stuff, but she's everywhere. I'll have to look for the anti-spike pill. I wonder if it's apple cider vinegar based. Excuse me. Smaller OMAD for 3 days versus 72-hour fast benefits. Well, I've never tested the two to go between them. I guess when I hear smaller OMADs, I'm thinking you mean 3 down days in a row. I think that'd actually be something kind of interesting to test. I don't think if you properly have a refeed like afterwards, that 3 days of small OMADs, your body would like get into starvation mode at all. I just have a feeling you'd be real hungry. I think, and again, this is all based on my personal experience. When I have a down day and I eat a 500 calorie meal, I will certainly feel hungry later. And it's not like white knuckling it the entire time, but I feel hungrier than a full day fast because I get in a full day fast and I just you just keep going with it. When you break it with a 500 calorie meal, you get the joy of the meal, but I do feel hungrier later and I just get kind of like this empty feeling and I don't hate it. So it's not a complaint. But if I did that 3 days in a row, I have a feeling it would be more mental torture than just a 3-day fast because you kind of get in the groove of your body says, oh, we're not going to eat. We'll shift to burning stored fuel. And if you keep eating the 3 small meals, you're not going to make that shift probably as easily, or your body might just feel more confused. That's kind of going off a guess, but I haven't done that, but it would be kind of interesting to do 3 like 500 calorie down day OMADs and then have like an up day afterwards. Maybe I'll do that sometime, but I have a feeling it would be kind of torturous. Oh, let's see. Rhiannon, I hope I said that right. I feel like I mess up your name every time, and I'm sorry. I'm doing a 28 fast days or fast start, but I look forward to doing the next 72 hour with you. You inspire me. Well, yay. I think the fast start is amazing. And then, yes, you'll be perfectly set up to do the next one in June. And I bet when June comes, I'm going to be like, how in the world are we here? But I'm cheering for you and your fast start. I don't know, Linda. You just said it twice, so maybe it was you. But Beanie Creates says, I'm too early in my fasting journey to join the 72-hour fast, but may jump 24-hour fast with you. Perfect. And I love that. I love that you are like, hey, that's not right for me, but I'll start at this step. And I think that's amazing. It'll still be fun to be like, hey, everyone else is doing this. I'm going to join in a way that feels good to me. I'm going to join in a way that's right for my journey and where I'm at. And I hope you do join and come back next week and tell me how it was. So yes, next week I will be at the very end of my 72-hour fast. That's one thing I didn't want to do is like my fast end in the middle of a live. So I'm excited. Hello, pizza. Pizza and I are best friends. I love pizza. Let's see. Oh my gosh. This is Nessa. You mentioning getting ill in the car reminded me of my trip to Cuba. My last day there, I got the worst food poisoning in my life. I thought I was car sick and I thought maybe it was food poisoning, but we tried like thinking every single thing that I ate was something that someone else in my family ate and no one got sick. But I'm sorry. It was just no fun. And there was no getting around staying in the car the rest of the day. Yes, that does sound awful. Is spending 12 hours without eating considered a fast? I think so. I think, if you are used, well, any time period where you don't eat is a fast. I don't know what a scientific like digestive fast definition would be if 12 hours is it. But if you generally only go 9 hours without eating, you go to bed at midnight and then you have breakfast at 9 a.m. and then you extend it to 12 hours, you're certainly pushing yourself and you're extending your fasting time period. I would consider that a fast. Now, if your goal is weight loss, I know for me personally, fasting 12 hours and having, a 9 to 9 eating window, I would do too much damage in that if I were using fasting as my only tool. But I don't think that it's a horrible place to start. If, that still can be good for you. Alina says, Bucky's is the best. Have a fun trip. Thank you. I'm really, really excited. I just love going to new places. So I've never been in Missouri. I've never been to Arkansas. And those are going to be 2 new states that we're going to explore as a family. So I'm also really excited for Bucky's. The funniest thing, when we were in Wisconsin, I saw a Bucky's billboard and I was like, there's a Bucky's around here? And it said 596 miles away or something. And I was like, well, that was a tease. And why do they have a billboard up here? But it definitely got my attention. And I thought it was pretty funny. Let's see. Nessa said, also, do you still want to think about compiling fellow members' ideas for 500 calorie down days? I've been making a list. Oh, yes. I do. I just have so many video ideas and like things to work on. And then, like I mentioned, some of my personal life has been a little chaotic. But I would really like to do that. Maybe I'll put a call out for that this week, and I can start collecting them in videos. Because I would think it would be really fun if like Nessa sends in your favorite one with a video, whether you're in it or just the food. I would love that. Let's see. Tina says, I'm from St. Louis and have to eat on the hill. And you have to eat on the hill. It's an Italian part of the city, St. Louis. That is absolutely amazing. I could probably think of 10 restaurants. Okay, Tina, if you're still on, I'm going to tell you, this is what St. Louis Ammo Man said, and I'm going to butcher it. He said, Cunetto, but it's an Italian restaurant and it seems very old, like it's been around forever. So I'm guessing that's probably on the hill and fits in with your recommendation. That's like a double endorsement for that area. So I'm excited. And it looked like he said I had to get the toasted ravioli there. So I have it on my list and I'm going to put the hill on my list. Thank you. Funny that there's so many Missouri in here. Let's see. Teresa says 77 here in Pensacola. Come on down. Love this 23-1 OMAD. Yay. I'm glad, excuse me. I'm glad you're loving it. And that sounds amazing. It's funny because we were going to do a different trip. It didn't work out because of flights and our dog. We couldn't get the two to coincide, like decent flights. And when we had to drop off and pick up our dog based on availability, because it's spring break, everyone around here is going to be having their dog in the kennel. But my husband's like, let's just go to Florida again. We've been going to Florida way too much. I love Florida, but I literally want to go to all the states of my kids. And you can't really do that if you are just going to the same place over and over again. But I was also tempted to just say yes, because we've really enjoyed going to Florida, even though I've never been to Pensacola. Deb says, wow, Missouri seems to have Calgary weather. -18 this morning, which is -1 Fahrenheit, and 5 degrees Celsius this afternoon, 45. I guess everywhere is just going crazy. Let's see. Oh, Nissa says, go to Cuba for the sun, not for the unsanitary food conditions. Not a raving review. Alina asked, do I tend to eat a lot for the first meal after a 72-hour fast? No, because I want to gently wake up my digestion. And that's something that I've learned from Dr. Fung. I just basically watched a bunch of his videos. The first couple times I did longer fasts to make sure I understood. So I really have found I like air fried steak and just eat that, or even some non-starchy vegetables and not too much. And then I give myself a couple hours to digest that before I have like a full meal, so I can pretty much guarantee you 3:00 on next Wednesday, I'll be having air fried steak and just leave it at that. And then open my eating window, or not open it, but wait a couple hours before I eat more. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that sounds gross, doesn't it? Let's see. Libby's World says, do you see any differences during that time of the month? Yes. So right before my period starts, I almost always have a day or two where I just feel extremely hungry. Excuse me, voice crack. And what I do is I'm almost always breaking my fast at 18 hours then. Like today, I broke my fast just past 18 hours, not because I was super hungry, but because I wasn't eating dinner with my family. So I planned my meal when everyone else is gone, because I wasn't ordering them food that they wouldn't eat. But when I am right before my period, it's like, okay, 18 hours, which is my personal minimum, my goal every day. I am ready to go. And then I just have longer eating windows. I don't feel bad about it. I just know it's very natural. Once a month, there's going to be a day or two where I'm much hungrier than normal. And I just let myself be more hungry, because at this point, it's such a pattern that I don't question, like, am I making this up? Is this emotional? No, it's every month. There's a day or two where I just feel hungrier. So why stress about it? Because I can't change it unless I want to get pregnant, and I don't. Let's see. Heather says, poor sleeping has me hungry and out of sorts for my next fasting day. Oh my gosh, I must be way behind. You said, Emmy, that was forever ago that I showed her. Sorry, I'm so behind. But I didn't mean to pass on Heather. That's interesting. So again, I sleep pretty darn good and my sleep is definitely improved. But I could see that just getting poor sleep could have you out of sorts in many ways. Sorry, that's my teen texting me. Her friend can't come over. Dawn says, have I been to a Bucky's before? I have not. And TikTok or YouTube shorts have made me want to go. So I'm very excited. You and your family will love the food. I have no doubts there. And I shop there for their home decor. Now that is really interesting. I didn't even realize they had home decor. I just know it's like massive. And we love my middle daughter has had hundreds. I have no idea, hundreds of physical therapy appointments. And her desire used to be every time before physical therapy, can I get a gas station snack? And I think the appeal of it, and I can't say I don't understand, is every gas station you stop at has different snacks. They have different offerings. You don't really know what you're going to find in there. So I feel like Bucky's would be that feeling on steroids. Like, oh, what's going to be here? I'm going to pick, like my husband gets hot and spicy chicharrones, which he doesn't really buy pork rinds on a normal basis, but it's like his gas station food, or weird flavored Takis, or you just don't know what you're going to find. And I'm excited to explore. And maybe I'll find something to decorate my home. And Dawn, I know you have a gorgeous home, so they probably have some good things in there. Oh, okay. Let's see. Lambert's Cafe, home of throwed rolls in Ozark, Missouri, is close to Branson. They have great rolls and fried okra. Oh my gosh, I love fried okra. Not very familiar with St. Louis. That's all right. I'm gonna copy and paste. Let me see this. Oh, I didn't mean to hide that. I just need to write that down. I'm just gonna take a picture on my phone actually, because I will not remember that. I'll remember the hill. I will not remember all of that, but that sounds amazing. And I'm going to be adding that to my itinerary to see if we can make that work. The hardest thing is I am much more adventurous and excited about food. My husband gets excited about food, but he likes the same thing in every restaurant. Fried chicken, fettuccine Alfredo, peanut butter stuff, like just very basic, the same things. My kids are kind of picky. Jeez. My daughter is texting me more. I need to respond to her really quick. Okay, there we go. But who can't get on board with rules, right? My husband can definitely get on board with that. So thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited for like local people to tell me what's best, because I can Google, but we all know how trustworthy Google can be sometimes. Hi, Jackie. Can I eat carbs during my 6-hour window when I mix it up with stuff like healthy fats and veggies and still lose weight? Slim, that is a tongue twister. One, I believe that you probably could, but a 6-hour eating window for me personally is a long time. So I guess I'm much better at limiting my time than limiting my food or like my portions, because I like to eat quantity. I like to be really full. And so if I have a 6-hour eating window, I'm going to be doing that a lot. But if you're mixing it up and you're able to find a good balance, I think there's a lot of different ways you can incorporate an eating window. And I think you could have an 18-hour fast, a 6-hour eating window, and still eat carbs and lose weight if you're able to do that. Like I say that, like, one, I think 18.6 you could still lose weight without much thought for most people, because an 18-hour fast is vastly different than what you do. Now, if you're someone that doesn't eat carbs and then you're going to a 6-hour eating window and adding carbs back in, that might throw your body for a little bit. But yes, I definitely think it is possible. I I did do low carb for 1 month as a trial, and I definitely dropped weight. But my entire 4 years of fasting, minus that 1 month, I eat carbs every single day. They help me stay full. They help me to feel energized. I really enjoy them. So I never did this journey as a low carb person. So I definitely think it's possible with fasting to have success. But most of my eating windows are not 6 hours either. Let's see. I forgot what Libby's World asked. I do ADF as I am in the progress of losing 70 pounds, 40 down so far. Go Nessa. And when about PMSing, I state. When I'm PMSing, I always need to take a break early and add a mad meal, meaning a little mindless munching. I love that, a mad meal. And I love seeing you guys talk to each other. Hello in Southern California from Mustard Seedish. I like that name. Shuri says, go to Lambert's in Branson for sure. Going to St. Louis for 2 days in spring break. Hey, maybe we'll bump into each other. I probably shouldn't say, well, I'll be there in sometime in March. I'm not sure exactly which day, but maybe that'd be awesome. If I can run into you, Sharice, I would love that. But Lambert's, okay. I'm going to write that down really quick because my brain is going to get full here. Let's see here. The Hill and Lambert's. And I will check both of these places out because I got to find something. Lambert's. But I'm super excited to check them out. And we were doing like looking at cave tours and just different things that'll be fun. And we're going to do the diamond mining in Arkansas. My 7-year-old is super excited about that. I just came here to look up your veggie soup. It's cold in the mitten today. Yes, we are making veggie soup tomorrow. We're having tacos tonight. Have I ever posted a veggie soup recipe? Because I don't really use a recipe. But I can tell you how I make it if you want. I do vegetable broth, a can of diced tomatoes, a can of tomato soup, or not tomato soup, tomato sauce. I do a couple different bags of mixed veggies. Usually it's like the California blend and just mixed veggies. A couple cans of diced potatoes. And then I use a ton of Italian seasoning. I do a diced onion in there as well. I do onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper, a couple bay leaves, and I put it in the crock pot all day. And then when it's done, I season it more if I need to. Salt, usually. I'm trying to think, is that it? And if I have any vegetables to use up, they go in there as well. Literally anything. A little broccoli, a little cauliflower, a little squash or something. It just goes right in. Cherry tomatoes are wilting. Not anymore. They're in the soup. They'll plump up again. Teresa loves 23-1 OMAD. I totally understand. I did it last June. I'm going to do it again where I do a 1 hour OMAD 1 day every week, do it. And, 1 hour every day and not really care what hours are in between. But I did it last time and it was a little restrictive, but I want to do it again. It was a fun video to make. Hi, Amber. I'm glad you caught a live. Oh, thank you. Bobini's encouraging you guys to like the live. Thank you so much. Juice asked, we've had pizza on the live and now we have juice. To what do I owe the honor? Quick question. I'm doing a 36-hour fast. Can I have an electrolyte packet I brought from Walgreens? As of right now, I'm just mixing Himalayan salt in my water, or should I just find some black coffee? I don't know what's in your electrolyte packet. I know some of them do have sugar. Okay. So there's two different answers. My perfect suggestion is don't have electrolytes that have flavors in your fast, especially if you're learning to fast. That is my suggestion, because if you're learning to fast and then you're adding flavors and it's going to make it harder, I would not suggest that. It's going to make you think fasting is really hard, or it could. If you are really good at fasting and you get a little hungrier from having a flavor and you know yourself and you know you're going to be able to push through it and you know that's what you're going to deal with, but you'd rather do that and have the flavor, then I don't think it's that big of a deal. That's if you're adjusted and you know you're good at fasting and you do it every once in a while. That's how I approach it. But I think that there are unflavored, like I know the Element raw unflavored is not delicious, but I think it's still worth taking and I think it helps me on my fast. I would definitely have that, and I actually mix it with coffee and then I just suck it down really quickly. I don't know exactly what the one from Walgreens is. So it's not something that I 100% be like, hey, take it. But you could. I don't know. It might make it harder, especially if you're learning to fast. Dawn says, I did flavored element on my second 72-hour fast, and that was a breeze compared to the first one with raw. We'll be joining this one, but starting Monday based on schedule. Love that you're adjusting it. And that's interesting that it was a breeze compared. I wonder if the joy of the flavor, or it just didn't make you hungry, or you're good at fasting. I'm actually excited to see how it goes. I'm very curious about it. Libby's World says, thanks. That makes me feel better. Let's see here. Curly Charlie Brown, I agree. 3 down days would really affect my hunger and happiness. The Fast 800 book says to do 2 weeks of 800 calories a day and then 2 weeks in a row of 800. I have the book and I've never. That's interesting. I have never done that. And I didn't fully read the book. Someone sent it to me and I probably should finish reading it. I was on this binge of like reading all of these fasting books, and I bought a bunch and then I got burnt out on reading. I still have them all, and I actually haven't read it in a while, so I should probably get back on my reading train. I've been reading novels, but not informative. I just get burnt out on certain types of reading. So I need to get back. I probably should finish that book. But doing 2 weeks of 800 calories a day and then 5-2, I could see that, like if I were starting and really like wanting to drop weight, but I don't want to drop weight that bad. So I don't see myself doing that. Need to leave soon, but to answer your inquiry, it's a vegan pill used in place of apple cider vinegar. Her pill is mulberry leaf, lemon extract, cinnamon, and antioxidants from green vegetables. That's interesting. I'm looking forward to looking that up. Hello, Dearborn neighbor. I bet you have really good Lebanese food. Yummy. In your neighborhood somewhere. That's our old daycare lady moved to the Dearborn area because that's where all their family was. Let's see. Fani, I hope I said that right. I'm not even going to try your last name. Let's see. Hi, Jackie. Glucose Goddess received a lot of criticism from scientists about her anti-spike pills, which they have not been sufficiently tested. They say she sold her soul to make money. You know, the funny thing is, when you said that, okay, or not when you said it, when I read that she had a pill, I thought, wow, that really surprises me, because a lot of her books were based on not needing special things, or I guess that's how I interpreted it. Whether she says that, I don't remember, but not that she sold her soul, because making content and sharing stuff with people takes a lot of time and energy. And I do think, like, when I've sponsored videos, I hope people understand that it's a way for me to pay myself to make videos. But I do think you have to be kind of like very thoughtful. I've had like a cream you rub on your wrist to make you not hungry during fast. Like so many things that people want me to sell. And I'm like, no. If I wouldn't actually use it, I'm not going to do it. But when you said that, I was like, oh, I'm surprised. Like, it just surprised me that there was something that she was selling like that. Because the whole basis is like learning how to eat to not have the spikes. So that doesn't surprise me that she's getting that criticism, but I don't really know much about it. Jiri says, I'm in the middle of a 40-hour fast on hour 23. Send me good willpower thoughts. I'm sending them to you. Yay. 23 of 40. You are over halfway there. You are going to make it, and you're doing great. Woohoo. Aracelis. Let's see. Our organisms are different than any food that affects you may not affect someone else the same way. Food poisoning. Oh, that's a true thought. Like, what's in my stomach might be affected by the foods that I eat differently than my family. That could be. That would have made it easier. I was like, our organisms are. It was almost a tongue twister, especially after I said your name. But yeah, I didn't really think of that. So yeah, the same food that I ate could have affected me differently. And that's very true. I don't know. It was right after I ate though. So it was horrible. Let's see here. Wait, okay. How do you start the OMAD? So I started personally by just adjusting to fasting. I had a goal of 18 hours. I got through the 18-hour fast, and then I was like a vacuum and I ate everything in front of me. And I quickly learned that whatever I ate first was what I would enjoy the most. And then I'd get stuffed and I wouldn't enjoy much going after. That helped me to learn to not just shove my face with anything that was in front of me. Obviously, that's not the end goal anyways. That helped me to determine that I wanted to be intentional with what I ate. It's still not perfect, but if I want to enjoy a food, I better not eat a bunch of junk beforehand, because then to get to the food that I was actually looking forward to, I still want to actually have an appetite for it. Once I kind of got past that hurdle of eating everything that was in front of my face, I realized that I really enjoyed having a meal that I really got to sit down and enjoy. And a lot of times for me, that looks like fasting until I get to my one meal a day. And then I fully enjoy that meal, pretty large meal. And a lot of times that involves a dessert afterwards, or maybe I'll have nuts and cheese. That's something I've been doing recently beforehand. And I really get to enjoy every component of it. So once I realized, like, hey, I can really enjoy a single meal without fretting, without worrying about portion size, that's how I did it. I got used to fasting, and then I realized what was important to me was like having that single meal that I could really enjoy every day. Then it made it easy for me to get to OMAD, enjoy it, and then look forward to doing it again. That's how I did it. I think if you have something that you're looking forward to, so have that meal intentionally planned that you know you're going to like, it's going to make it easier to fast all day, to build the fasting muscle, and then to repeat it. Because if you get to enjoy it every day, it's not like dieting where you're like, oh, I'm so hungry. And then you get to your rice cake and it's not satisfying. And then you're still hungry. And then you get to whatever low cal, low fat food that you didn't really want. And then you're hungry again. And so you're always hungry and then eating foods you don't like and then hungry. You're going to burn out of that. But when you're fasting, you're going to get used to fasting. And then you enjoy food that you like. It's the reward that you really enjoyed. And then the next day of fasting is going to be easier than the first day of fasting. You just build the habit and you enjoy your eating window. And eventually it's your new lifestyle. What is the name of the jerky that you like so much at Aldi? It used to be called biltong, but they got rid of it. Excuse me. And I think they did that because no one knows what biltong is and it sounds like tongue. Now it's called thinly sliced steak. And it's pretty much the same consistency. And they have new flavors. It's only two. Original, which is good, but the one that's really good is chili lime. They used to have biltong and black peppered, and I absolutely loved it. And I wish that one was back too, but it's still really good, and it's very high in protein, no prep, super good to take like on the road. Esteban, hit me up whenever you feel ready to continue the podcast. I'm sure we can find a way to make the process less stressful for you. Well, thank you, Esteban. And if anyone wants to give him love, he did such a good job. I loved it. Alina says, do you tend to want to eat a lot after a 72-hour fast? Or are you very hungry? By the time I get to the 72 hours, I don't feel like I'm sitting there like physically super hungry, because I've gotten kind of past that hunger hump. And then my body's just like, oh, I guess we're doing this long fast thing again. But once I break my fast, and I eat the steak, like I feel content, but then I'm mentally like ready for my next meal. I've never really had a hard time waiting the 2 hours because honestly, I just don't want to get sick. So it hasn't been hard, but I do have a pretty full eating window. And then I'm like, oh, I can eat again. What? I want everything. And by everything, I'm not like reaching for Little Debbie's. Like that kind of stuff doesn't sound good, but it's more like all the options of foods that I do love are here. I feel, I guess, more mentally hungry than hungry, but I'm definitely like, once I open the eating window up, I have no problem eating a full up day. I know some people talk about doing alternate day fasting and they have a hard time getting a full up day. That's never been a problem for me. I definitely think Dr. Fung is really obviously a very wonderful educator, and I look to him for a lot of things that I do, especially medically. And I definitely think he is someone to take a lot of information from. I'd love to say I've enjoyed reading his books. I like The Fasting Lane. I read that one. I think that's what it was called. With Ramos, and I can't think of the other lady's name, but he did it with two colleagues. I really liked that book, but the obesity code was really hard to read. I mean, not hard, like I couldn't read the words, but it was just dry, hard to get through. But he is someone that I really think is a great educator, and he makes things really easy to understand. I know you're in St. Louis, Ammo Man. You're the one that gave me the pasta place. What kind of good do you want? I don't know, just something that represents St. Louis, I guess. I don't want to go to St. Louis and eat Chili's, if you know what I mean. And I know it, like, just something that you would be like, you came to St. Louis, you have to eat here. Like, what would you tell someone? If you're here, you have to eat that. You gave me I can't remember, but the toasted ravioli at the Italian place is on my list of considerations. Oh, beef jerky. Okay. They have yummy beef jerky. This is from Teresa. Barbecue sandwiches. When we go to Bucky's, it's a 2 hours trip and we always spend a lot of money. I have a feeling we'll spend too much money there. Lambert's is great. We have one near me in Foley, Alabama. Okay. Another endorsement for Lambert's. St. Louis Ammelman said, I've lost 60 pounds. I just got back from Home Depot. I went there on my lunch hour to lift a 60-pound bag of concrete. Holy crisp. No wonder I was always exhausted. That is amazing. And I absolutely love when people make little, like, I don't know if you've seen YouTube shorts of people like holding sugar bags or flour bags. I love the representation of that because it is kind of like, how did I do that? How did I carry that around with me all the time? But good for you. I am so excited for you. Let's see. On my lunch break, I went to, it's the same. But let's see. No wonder I was exhausted after a round of golf or any time for that matter. Yeah, imagine carrying that 60-pound bag of concrete with you on an 18-hole golf course. That would be crazy. You're welcome, Juice. Thanks for coming. Amber says, I've been on a really good streak of 24 OMAD. I'm noticing that on my period, though, I am ravenously hungry. What can I do to either prepare for the times like this or to get through times like this? Honestly, so say you're really, really hungry on a 28-day cycle for even 4 days. If you do a 24 days of 24, and then you have your 4 days where you just allow yourself the longer eating window, don't stress about it. Acknowledge that it happens every month and just give yourself those longer eating windows, because personally, I really think my body is hungrier in these times. I am always very consistently hungrier. I just have the longer eating windows and I don't stress about it. And then it's less of like an event to get through when you just know it's there, you acknowledge it. And then I don't try to like super stuff myself, but if I'm stressing about it and worried about it and trying to like tell myself I'm not hungry, that's going to be more damaging than just being like, hey, you know what? Yep. This happened last month too. We're hungrier. We're going to eat more. Allow yourself the longer eating window and then get back to 24. That's what I do. So I think the best preparation is just acknowledging that it's like going to happen and that it's going to continue to happen and that you're going to give yourself longer eating windows. And then when it's part of your plan, you don't feel like you're breaking plan. Tina says, yes, I wish I knew how to say it. Someone give me an Italian lesson. Cunettos in St. Louis on the Hill is one of my favorites. Toasted ravioli and the cavatelli con pomodoro. Oh my Lord, I need to take an Italian lesson before I get kicked out of the Hill. But yay, I love that two people have said the same thing, because that makes me excited. Like, oh, now when I'm there, I have to do this. And actually, I did show my husband already their website. I was like, oh, look, it's like an old Italian restaurant and it looks like it's been around for a long time and authentic, and I can't read the menu, so I'm sure that's a good sign. So he seems excited because he loves Italian food. Let's see. So what your estimate for a fasting window that would allow most people to lose weight for keep it healthy one, still consuming carbs. Well, still consuming carbs. Most of the time, a 6-hour eating window works for me, but not all days. See, I feel like that's too generalized of a question to like. I'm not an expert. I like to share with people that I'm like a real world. I hate saying that because every person's a real person, but like I'm not someone that's approaching this as like, here's what textbook tells you to say, and this is the perfect diet, and ditch all the foods that you previously loved your last 35 years of life. And when you take this and do this, then you'll be perfect. I'm someone that's like, hey, diets have never worked for me because I love to eat food and I burn out. But I found that I'm able to still enjoy my life and fast successfully and find a balance between the two. And I found the balance for me because I've like tried everything. I have tried alternate day fasting. I've tried up days, down days, OMAD, and I make a perfect blend of them because of what works for me. I'm not someone that can sit and tell you like, hey, Slim, this is going to be what's perfect for you. Personally, a 6-hour eating window would be too long for me because I just have a harder time reining it in over a 6-hour period regularly, as opposed to having shorter eating windows where I just don't think about it because I don't want to think on a regular basis, this many carbs is what I should limit. That's not my personality. So I don't have like the experience or the expertise to give you a good answer for that. My husband's calling me. He knows I'm on a live. Okay, let's see. If he calls again, I'm going to have to let you go because that means there's something up. But sorry, I don't feel like I have the experience to tell you that. But I definitely think it's something you can play around with. Just like, I guess my advice would be this. Don't feel like you have to know right away. Try it out. Try out a 6-hour eating window, eating carbs. And if it works for you, then you know that it works for you. And if you see that maybe 6 hours is too long with having carbs, then make a decision. Should I shorten my eating window to 4 hours and have the carbs, or should I limit carbs and have a 6-hour eating window? You kind of have to play around with what's your preference. What am I able to do? What works well for my lifestyle? Oh my Lord. Do you hear the dog behind me? Oh, Kat says, bring some clothes you don't mind getting dirty to the diamond mine. Already planned. My son is so excited. He has like a dig kit because he digs in our backyard. He is so excited. For Christmas, we got him from Amazon. They're ladies' stud earrings. There was the cheapest pair I could find with like the smallest diamond because he's like, I have obsidian, I have silver, he had all these like precious metals, but he didn't have diamond or gold. So they're like gold plated. It's a gold plated stud with this little teeny weeny diamond in it. And he loves it. He thinks it's the greatest thing ever. And he's certain he's going to find a diamond or rocks. So it'll be fun. And he's the perfect age to go. He has like childlike optimism, loves dirt, doesn't need anything else. Let's see. Walk 6 miles a day and fast 18 hours. I lost 8 pounds. Yay. That is amazing. I'm really happy for you, but definitely take the time and give yourself permission to take time to find the perfect combination that works for you. And it can be different. You can have, like 2 6-hour eating windows a day a week, and the other 5 days are different. Like it doesn't have to be the same thing every day. Exactly what Nessa's saying. It's a journey of discovery for you. We all fast differently and have different results. And Nessa and I both eat carbs. Let's see here. Juice says, how do you feel about Splenda Stevia Zero in my coffee? I do straight black coffee, but I saw yesterday in the store. Don't want to break my fast. I personally, especially if you're learning to fast, wouldn't do it. I'm not a science figure, but I started clean fasting. I'm very grateful that I started my fasting journey doing it clean. Now that I'm really good at fasting, there are times where I have a diet beverage, or like I said, I've been playing around with the element flavors in my fast. I think it makes it hungrier. I think it makes me hungrier. I've said that like 80 times during this live, so I'm sorry if everyone's getting annoyed. But I also know that fasting is worth it to me, so I will keep going. I'm not trying to convince myself to fast and learn to fast while also making it harder on myself. So if you're learning to fast, I would not make it harder on yourself. I would literally remove the making yourself extra hungry. I wouldn't do it. But again, we all have to find our own ways. I am going to have to go here in a minute. This is the longest live I've had in a long time. Let's see here. Thanks, I can. And I did OMAD before, but I want it to be more sustainable because I really enjoy food and I want it to be a lifestyle. Yes, I think you're definitely understanding what we're saying. And I think that is the perfect way. Like, you're just trying to find something that you can do day in and day out and make it enjoyable. And that is my same goal for myself. And I think for other people that I work with, and by work, I mean like talk with, I don't work with people in a work sense, but I think playing around, working, seeing how it's going and making adjustments based on your results, your priorities is the way you're going to make it a lifestyle. Oh, thank you, Alina. It's been fun. It's been nice that I am able to stay later because I didn't have to leave to go get the kids, but they will be home here soon. Jiri says, thank you for the motivation. I'm struggling at the moment because I really love to cook and I love my dinners. It's my me time and a way for me to relax after a long day. Well, I don't know. This might not work for everyone, but honestly, I meal prep. Like, I'm trying to think. My last down day, right before the Super Bowl, I got a crock pot full of shredded beef ready to put in the crock pot the next day. I was excited to do that, knowing that on my up day I was going to have it. I love to bake. I bake cookies on my down day, enjoy them on my up day. I think there's a lot of ways that you can enjoy food, because if you like that me time, you might really like baking or meal prepping. You could do something very similar in the kitchen where you get the joy and the relaxation of working with food, even if you're not going to eat it. That's like one of my favorite things to do is bake on a down day. One of my favorite things to do on a down day is to bake, because I still get the joy, and then I have like, ooh, I get to have this in my eating window. Let's see. How long does it take to see results? I've been on OMAD for a week. I think it really varies person to person. I didn't weigh myself for the first 4 weeks because that's what I read to do in Fast Feast Repeat. So I wasn't weighing myself regularly. And in the first 4 weeks, I lost 4 pounds. And then I kept losing weight after that. My caution is that some people, it takes a lot longer. My dad didn't lose weight for 6 months, but he kept with it. He kept adjusting. He was learning to fast. He was really enjoying the fasting lifestyle. He was also not gaining weight. He wasn't fretting about food, and he was learning to fast. And then he started dropping weight after 6 months. But it really varies person to person. And I think that makes a big difference. Have you read Fast Feast Repeat? The book outlines a lot of ideas on making intermittent fasting a lifestyle, and that's what inspired me. That is definitely true, and a great thing to point out, Nessa. It's funny because I haven't mentioned Fast Feast Repeat probably in this, but it's one of those things, like I just assume everyone knows because I've talked about it so much. But you're right, that is a great thing to recommend if Slim has not read that yet. St. Louis is full of Italian. Toasted ravioli from Canetto's for dinner. Opens at 4:45. Get there early so you get in the first thing. Or if y'all want the best barbecue, go to Pappy's. Oh, another one I have to write down. Pappy's here used to be a Mexican restaurant, so I would not think barbecue. They got closed, though. It was one of my favorite places to go to. Thank you. Oh, you guys are making me excited. Let's see. Nessa says, sorry, Jackie, one more question. If you have time, not fasting related, LOL. Is it expensive for all 5 of your family to spend a week at Disney? I'd love to go, but I fear the expense. Yes, it is. But here's the thing. It is expensive, but I think going anywhere on vacation is expensive. As we were looking at an Airbnb not next to, it was actually quite a ways away, but it was like twice the cost per night than a Disney resort was. And we do things like open a Disney credit card so that we can get Disney card member perks. We do that kind of gaming, but it doesn't it's still, I mean, I think going anywhere is expensive, but flying down there, staying down there, and then we didn't vacation for a long time. And then now that our kids are older, when we want to do things with them, it's just a priority to us. And we've kind of like embraced that if we're going to go, we're going to enjoy it. And it is expensive. Yes. I would definitely, there are ways that you can be thought conscious. Like we go off season. We don't go in the biggest tourist times. We don't go to the parks every day. So we do like one day we go to the park, the next day is a rest day. But that works well too. Like my kids love hanging out at the pool or just being able to walk around. And every day at the park, we're going to have really tired, grumpy kids. So it helps cut the cost when we're not going to parks every day. They're too young to do that anyways. But yes, it's expensive. I hope Cal breaks a diamond found record. Oh my gosh, I do. I hope he does too. That would be amazing. He would just love it. I hope he finds, he also would not, I mean, he would love to find giant, but if he just found anything that was a diamond, he would ride that high for years. I hope he's the one that finds it. Let's see. Slim says, I already heard of that one before I had in mind to read it. But no, not yet. Thank you for reminding me. Jewel says, I love listening or hearing your dog snore. I always find it comforting listening to my dog snore during the night. You know what? There are so many things that annoy me noise-wise, like sensory, but I love her snoring. I just think it is the cutest thing in the world, and it's so loud, so it's a good thing I like it. Oh, well, thank you, Slim. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm glad you found it helpful. And let's see. When does weight loss slow? Okay, this is going to be my last question. So anything that pops up. Oh, wait, I see there's one more. So anything after JoJo's comment is going to be my last one. For me, I was losing weight very steadily, and then I hit 150, and my body's like, nope. So unless I literally do something drastic like 72-hour fast, I will drop below it. If I do something like, but I come back to the 150. If I do keto, I drop below. But I have this range. I call it 150, but it's 147 to 153. I stay in that range, and I just hit it. I was like, sweet, at this pace, I'll be at 140. When I was losing weight, I just thought, hey, I'll get to 140, which was my when I got married at age 20. I don't know why I think I'd still weigh the same thing I did when I was 20. I weighed 137. So I was like, hey, I'll get to 140 in no time by this. And then I hit 150 and I stopped losing weight. I am so happy here because I have the lifestyle. I don't need to weigh less. Like I'm in a healthy weight range. I have great blood results. I like the way I look. I like the way I feel. That's where I stopped. So I don't know. My body said, we're very, very comfortable here and you're going to have to work extremely hard to get less than this. And I don't want to. So I think that point comes with people, very different points for everyone. So I don't really know. But I was in the normal weight range for my height. I'm 5'10", and I just hit a point where my body is like, I know we've been losing weight 1 to 2 pounds a week, but we're done and we're not going any lower. So that was about 5 months in for me, but it's different for everyone. How long until you notice significant weight loss? I've been doing OMAD for about 2 weeks and I've only lost 3 pounds. I think that sounds amazing, honestly. I did OMAD for 4 weeks and lost 4 pounds total, but I didn't weigh myself until the end. And then I just kept slowly losing weight, 1 to 2 pounds a week. If you go back, at this point, it would be almost 4 years ago. I had 0 plans. I didn't really capture anything in my first 4 weeks because I didn't really plan to share fasting. I thought it was going to be like Weight Watchers or Diet Bets or all the other diets I've done where it wasn't like something I wanted to publicly talk about. But I just fell in love with fasting so much that I was like, I need to share this with people. This is literally changing my life. So I started making videos on it from about 4 weeks on, I think. I don't really remember. I just remember it was about that time. Then I started sharing like weekly updates. There's a lot of information out there, but I think 3 pounds in your first 2 weeks, it was better than me. And it's not something you can like count on. Like every person does it differently. So that was just my experience. But I think that sounds good. So I wouldn't be discouraged. And here's the other thing. If you're feeling good and you're learning to fast, you're building a skill that's going to benefit you for a long time. You're learning it, you're getting better at it, and you're feeling good and you're building the habits. And then you can focus on like, how can I lose weight now? Because adjusting is like a huge part of fasting. You have to adjust to the lifestyle. You're 2 weeks in, you've done a lot of that adjusting. Now, how can you tinker? How can you make it fit your lifestyle? How can you optimize your eating window and optimize your fast and what's going to feel good? Learning how to shift your windows. Like, there's so many things you can do to learn to fast and not gain weight. Like, to me, that's always a big thing. If you're fasting and you're enjoying it and you're not gaining weight, that's better than not dieting and gaining weight. Like, anytime I wasn't dieting, I was actively gaining weight. So there's so many different things that I think you can look to, but I think 3 pounds in 2 weeks while you're adjusting is amazing. So yay. And with that, I'm done with questions. Bye, Mom. Thank you. Jiri says, thank you so much. I'm glad I found your channel. Enjoy your trip. Thank you. The trip isn't for about a month, but I had to take advantage of info. So if anyone else sees this and you want to share more, I'll be looking for comments. But I'm going to say goodbye. And Emmy's saying goodbye too. She came and snuggled me. She's so loud. I love her. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for joining.